My MTN journey started in June 1994. A friend of mine's sister said she worked for this mobile phone company, and I didn't know what MTN was. And it turns out I was having a cup of tea with what was then the first HR director for MTN. You know, she said, "Are you interested in mobile technology?" And I said, obviously, I love mobile technology. I didn't actually know what it was. And that was the Saturday, and by the Friday they made me an offer. And that's how my journey started. At the time in 1994, the world was trying to figure out this thing called GSM. So we were really on the cutting edge. The English launched about a year before us, so we could learn a bit from them, but generally we were trying to figure it out at the time. The first phones we had were the Motorola flip phone and the Bosch phone, and what we were selling was voice and efficiency and a business solution. And that's the way we thought about it in 1994. You know, it's only once I got into it, I realized that actually your role was to serve customers and to tap into what customers needed and fulfill their wants, needs, and desires. At the time, you got to understand, the business model was postpaid. You bought your handset. We didn't finance handsets. A phone was 10 to 20,000 rand. It was a luxury product. So it's only rich people who could afford phones. Then we started financing the devices through a contract, and that then lowered the barrier to entry. But it was still a postpaid model. Then I think in about 1996, prepaid came about, and that really revolutionized the model. Device prices started coming down, and that changed the world. I think in 1996, you realized actually this thing could be big. I think MTN as a business was very visionary. I remember people saying, MTN are mad for trying to go into Nigeria. You know, you're gonna pay so much for a license at the time, you're never gonna make the money back because only a small part of the population can afford it. Today, we've got 80 million customers in Nigeria. 80 million customers in one country. That was the first part of democratizing the continent. And then when 3G came, I think that's when you started saying, okay, everybody deserves the benefits of a modern connected life. And then when mobile money came, you kind of drive financial inclusion. But the job isn't done because we've got close to 90% 4G population coverage. Only 45% of our customers have 4G devices. So there's another 120 million people that we can get onto 4G networks by getting the right smartphones into their hands. The big problem we have is the cost. You know, so one of the things we do at the moment is how do we reduce hardware costs? So we're working with smartphone manufacturers at the moment to take a lot of the functionality we think is superfluous out of smartphones to make it cheaper so that the bottom of the pyramid can start accessing 4G devices. And 2 years ago, we started financing devices. This year, we'll do over 1 million devices financed. And I think that'll go to 4 or 5 million. But that's a way of reducing this access gap. That's on the mobile side. I mean, we are now building a fiber business in Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, in CDI. Congo, Brazzaville will come after that. We are starting to deploy fiber in a way where the cost of deployment is so low that you can give it to people at a price point that working class families can afford. This is no longer a luxury product. And I think that'll change the trajectory in Africa. But I think when you are in a reflective mood and you look back, all of us can be proud. Because I think what we've done on the continent, from almost 0 people on the internet to today, we have 150 million people on the internet on our networks. I mean, that's a massive, massive part of the world's population that we have the privilege of serving. The one thing we give people is dignity. And the second thing we give people is opportunity. And for that, I'm massively proud.